Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I had some problems with the microphone. Now, fortunately, I arranged it. Now we can start. The last thing that we stopped on Tuesday, it was the tutorial, the questions that we solved at the end of the chapter. And there's 5 questions remaining. And I want to tell you that one more time. All videos, all the lectures are being recorded and they are all available in the Moodle. Let me share the screen one more time with you and just show it to you. Here, under each chapter, as you can see the link in here, you can just press on it. It will just directly take you to that video. Same here, the last tutorial that we made it on the demand and supply questions from 1 to 5, available in here. If you just press on it, it will take you to that place, okay? So today we're gonna do the last thing, and next week we're gonna have a quiz, and then after that we're gonna have the assessment 1. But the quiz will be on Thursday, 8th of October. 8th of October, you're gonna have Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with this microphone. Okay. Your problem. Okay, now it's okay. So the last thing, as I told you again, we covered tutorial demand and supply from questions from 1 to 5. From 1 to 5. And today we're gonna cover, so you will have on October 8th, quiz number 1. It will be multiple choice. And you will have the assessment 1 in 15th of October. So once you get into the quiz, you will see what type of the question you may face it. And one more time, I want to tell you, please make sure that your Moodle is working properly. The internet connection is working properly. Arrange everything before the exam, before the quiz starts. Otherwise, you will take the responsibility for that. So we have enough time to fix it. If you have problem with accessing the Moodle, and if you cannot participate for some reasons, then you will have to participate, answer the question face to face with me, like with a video chat and one by one. So that is the things, and it will be open book exam question. So you can use any resources, anything you want. Okay, now let me move to the questions. If you have any questions. Okay, we did question number 5. Now we are moving to the question 6. Let me make it bigger here. Now, using the supply and demand diagrams, show the effect of the following events in the market for sweatshirts. And here, A, B, and we have C, D. So there are 4 questions that we need to answer. So question A, a hurricane in South Carolina damages the cotton crop. So a cotton crop, first of all, it's been as a raw material, as an input to produce any t-shirts, any sweatshirts, anything. So when hurricane in South Carolina damages the cotton crop, it raises price for the raw materials actually. And raw materials are used to produce, is the cost of producing the sweatshirt. So if the raw materials increases in price, the supply of this sweatshirt shift to the left, will shift to the left. So the new equilibrium price will increase and the new equilibrium of the quantity of the sweatshirt will go down as well. So let's illustrate this on the diagram. Let's illustrate it on diagram. This is price. This is quantity. This is supply. This is demand. Price, quantity, supply, and demand. Let them call D1, S1. And this is the old equilibrium. Let me draw the old equilibrium. The new, the first equilibrium. Okay. At this price, they intersect. Let's say it's $10. And the quantity, let's say 100. Okay. Now, this is equilibrium. And once the hurricane hits the South Carolina, that damages the cotton crop. And cotton crop is the input, is the cost of producing the sweatshirt, okay, the quantity of the sweatshirt. So that actually increase the price of producing, the cost of producing. That will shift the supply curve to the left. Supply curve will shift to the left. Okay, supply curve shift to the left. And now we can see the new equilibrium will come here. So the price equilibrium will go up and quantity equilibrium will go down. As you can see here. Maybe this is 15 and this is 80 tons or 80 units, something. So what happens here, you can see it. The price increases, the quantity equilibrium falls down because of the cost of producing increases. This is how the effect happens, take the place in. So as a result, one more time, the supply of sweatshirt shifts to the left as it's shown in the diagram, in the figure that we have drawn down. The new equilibrium price is higher and the new equilibrium quantity of sweatshirt is lower. Okay, this is how it works. And this is A. So let us talk about B. The price of leather jacket falls. So a decline in the price of leather jacket leads to more people to buy leather jackets. That will reduce the demand for the sweatshirt. Because leather jacket and the sweatshirts are kind of substitute. So the results shown in should be shown in the figure. We should illustrate it again. So how it works. Now the demand market is affected. We undo everything. This is initial equilibrium. Now the demand part is affected. Oops, let me draw it with the black. So there's a new demand that creates a new equilibrium. of price and new equilibrium of the quantity. As you can see, equilibrium price falls to 8 and equilibrium quantity falls to 80 again. So once demand shifts to the left, the price equilibrium falls, the quantity equilibrium falls as well. So this is D2. This is how it works. Demand shifted left to the D2. The results, demand for leather jackets leads to buy more of leather jackets. That reduces the demand for the sweatshirts. That reduces the price, that puts the pressure on the price down from 10 to 8 and reduce the equilibrium quantity from 100 to 80. Okay. Now we're moving question further. We go further. Question C. All colleges require the morning exercise in appropriate attire. So in here, the effect of the colleges requiring the students to engage in the morning exercise in appropriate attire that increase the demand for the sweatshirts. So the result is an increase in both equilibrium price and the quantity of the sweatshirts. Now, okay, let me read out it again. This is price. This is quantity. This is supply. This is demand. This is quantity. Let's say 10. This is price of $5. So once the college requires the students to engage in the morning exercises in an appropriate attire, that will raise the demand for the sweatshirt. So demand for the sweatshirt will go up. That means the demand for will shift to the right. So shift of the demand right will make the price and quantity to increase as well. So let us illustrate it. D2. Now we have new equilibrium. Maybe this one is 15 units and this one is 10. So the price goes up, quantity increases as well. And this is happening due to the shift of, and this is new equilibrium. So once the college requires from the students to engage in the morning exercises to wear the appropriate attires, that will make the demand shift to the right to increase in both quantity and the price. So the part D, the new Let me just erase it. A new knighting machines are invented. So technological advancement, it's related to supply. So technological advancement is always increasing the supply. That shifts the supply curve to the right. So once supply is shift to the right, that will push down the price equilibrium and increase the quantity equilibrium. So invention of the new knighting machines increase the supply of the sweatshirts. So as a result, there will be a reduction in the equilibrium price and increase in the equilibrium quantity of the sweatshirts. So if you want to illustrate graphically, supply, demand, supply and demand. This is price, this is quantity. This is equilibrium, initial equilibrium. This is supply. This is demand, but supply 1, demand 1. And we need to increase, so the supply curve shifts to the right. Okay. That creates actually new supply. So new equilibrium comes. Oops, sorry. So this is the new equilibrium. As you can see, the price of equilibrium falls down, the quantity equilibrium increases. Let's say from 8 to 10, and from 10 to 5. So 10, it was $10, now it becomes 5. So the invention of the new machine will increase the supply of the switcher. She will shift from S1 to S2. Will shift to the right. That will increase the quantity equilibrium and will cause the reduction in equilibrium price. Okay. Now, question 7. Ketchup is a complement for hot dogs. If the price of the hot dog rises, what happens to the market for ketchup, for tomatoes, and for tomato juice, and for orange juice? So once the ketchup is complement for the hot dogs, we agreed, because without the ketchup, there is no hot dog. Like, there are less people who are willing to eat the hot dog without the ketchup. So therefore, when the price of the hot dog increases, the quantity demanded of hot dogs will go down. This will lower the demand for ketchup. So the end result is that both equilibrium price and quantity of ketchup will fall. Because of the quantity ketchup falls, demand for tomatoes by ketchup producer falls. So the equilibrium price and the quantity of the tomatoes will fall as well. When the price of tomato falls, the producers of tomato juice face a lower input prices. So the supply curve for tomato juice shifts out to the right, causing the price of tomato juice to fall, and the quantity of the tomato juice will go up. The fall in the price of the tomato, the fall of the price of the tomato juice, more specifically, causes the people to substitute tomato juice for orange juice. So tomato juice and orange juice or apple juice, they're all substitutes, not the complement. Any substitute product's price falls, the demand for that certain product will increase. So the fall in the price of tomato juice makes the people to substitute tomato juice for orange juice. So the demand for orange juice declines, causing the price of the quantity of the orange juice to fall. So now we can see clearly in here why the rise in the price of the hot dogs leads to fall in the price of the orange juice. So did you get the connection in here? From ketchup to orange juice. If price of hot dogs rises, what happens to the market for ketchup, for tomato juice, and for orange? Question 8. The market for pizza, following the demand and supply schedule, okay? The price is given here, the quantity demand is here, and so on. So for us to draw it, it's very simple. We need to just get the numbers and plug it. So first, part 8 says graph the demand and supply curves. And to find the equilibrium price and the quantity, okay? Just a second. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Now we can draw it. So first of all, we need to get the points. We need to get the points. Okay, we need to get the points. This is price. This is quantity. When the price for quantity demanded is 4, there's 135 pizzas are produced. And 26 pizzas can be supplied at this price. So quantity demand, so there's a demand for pizza when it's $4. So when the price is $4, let's say here, that says that there will be 26 of supply. This is point of supply, and 135 of quantity demand. When it's 5, it's 104, and it's 53. So when it becomes 5, and it becomes so 104 and 53. When it's 6, 81 and 81. Okay, 6. So it's something in the middle both. $81. So demand and supply both in here. They meet at 81. So that means quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal to each other at its point of equilibrium. So this is where they intersect. When the price is 7, the quantity demanded will be 68. Quantity demanded is 68. And when $7 is offered, the quantity supplied is 98. When it's $8, 53 and 110. So demand is 53 when it's 8. And the supply is 110. Somewhere here. Sorry for my handwriting. This is what I can do on my best. And when it's 9, the quantity supply, the quantity demand is 39. It's somewhere here. $39, and quantity supplied is 121. It's somewhere here. So now we can draw it. This is supply curve, and this is demand curve. This is how we draw it. This is part A. We found the equilibrium. Equilibrium is this. The point where they intersect is the point where they're both satisfied. If actual price in the market were above the equilibrium price, what would drive the market toward equilibrium? So if the price was actual here, so above the equilibrium, so somewhere here, what it makes to go down to the equilibrium, okay, back. If the price goes above the $6, okay, the quantity supply will be more than quantity demanded. So the suppliers would reduce the price to get the sales back. We said that if this is the case, like this part, okay, this part above the equilibrium, it is the excess of supply. There are more supply than demand. So to get more sales, the supply should reduce the price until it reaches the equilibrium. If the actual price in the market were below the equilibrium price, what would drive the market toward equilibrium? If the price were below $6, the quantity demanded would exceed the quantity supply. So that creates the excess of demand. So the suppliers could raise the price without losing any sales. So in both cases, the price would continue to adjust until it reached 6, the only price at which there is neither surplus or shortage. So which is below here, it is the excess of demand or shortage of supply. Okay, this is excess of demand or shortage of supply. And above the price, it is something called excess supply and shortage demand. So here's surplus of supply, this is shortage of supply. Excess of supply or surplus. And this is something called shortage of supply. Okay, let's move further. Consider the following event. Scientists reveal eating oranges decreases the risk of the diabetes. And at the same time, the farmers use the new fertilizers that makes the orange trees produce more oranges. Illustrate and explain what effect these changes have on the equilibrium price and the quantity of oranges. So, because the flour is an ingredient in bagels, a decline in the price of the flour would shift the supply curve for bagels to the right. The result shown should be shown in the diagram. that would be a fall in the price of the bagels and a rise in the equilibrium quantity of bagels. So we can illustrate this on the graphically, and we can give another interpretation on it. Okay. So once we come with the news concerning to the news, but before moving to the news, do you have any questions? Okay, please guys, feel free to ask and stop me if you don't get anything. So coming to the question 9, again, the news of invention by the scientists increase the health benefits from consuming oranges will increase the demand for oranges. That's for sure, and increasing both equilibrium price and the quantity at the end. So if the farmer used the new fertilizers that make the oranges tree more productive, and supply of the oranges will increase, because we know that advancement technology will shift always the supply curve to the right, because that increase the supply to the right, that makes the more products available to the people at the same price that they used to produce same less quantity before. If the farmer used the new fertilizers, that will make orange trees to more productive, and supply of oranges will go up. That will lead to a fall in equilibrium price, because there will be more quantity available of the same product, of the same oranges, and but the rise in the equilibrium quantity, the quantity of equilibrium will be increased. The same thing that we can compare with the technology that we are facing now, the telephones. Now, before like 6 years ago, there was a specific models of the iPhone and Samsung. But nowadays there is a Xiaomi, Redmi, Lenovo. There are many brands. There are many brands that are offering the telephones, the smartphones with the same patterns, with the same features, but with the more quantity of the telephones available with a cheaper price. There are many Samsung, even just go directly to the product of Samsung. There are many A31, A50, A70, A71. So the people, they really cannot catch up. So when you buy a telephone of Samsung, they say, okay, I bought the telephone Samsung. It is the latest version, A70. Just 2 weeks passed, A71 came. 2 weeks passed, A31 came, A51, and so on. So you cannot catch it up because of the technological advancement. The quantity of supply of the product increases, the equilibrium price falls down. Same thing in here with the scientists. Once the scientists revealed that eating oranges decreased the risk of diabetes, at the same time, farmers they used the new fertilizers to produce oranges trees to make oranges trees to produce more oranges. Definitely, that will increase the supply and reduce the price. And of course, that affects the demand as well on the other side. Coming to the bagels and the ice cream, cheese, ice cream, cheese are often eaten together, so they are kind of complements. For those who doesn't know what is the bagels, let me just show you. Okay, this is bagels and this is the ice cream. So they're eaten together. In Turkey, they call, I don't know, maybe you have tried or not, they call it kunefe. It's a special sweet, a special dessert for Turkish people. They eat it with ice cream. So they are complements. So we observe that both equilibrium price of ice cream, cheese, and equilibrium quantity of bagels have increased. So what could be responsible for this pattern? A fall in the price of the flour or fall of the price of the meal? So we should illustrate and explain our answer with illustration, but let us first explain it and illustrate. Because the flour is an ingredient in bagel, so it's a kind of baked product. and it's an ingredient, a decline in the price of the flour definitely would shift the supply curve to the right. Why? Because flour is an input to produce these bagels, and that bagels is reduced in the price. So now you can produce same quantity but for lower cost. So that means you will use same budget, but you will produce more of bagels. So the quantity supply will shift to the right. So supply curve to the right, to the shift, the price of the bagels eventually reduced, price of equilibrium will reduce, and the quantity of bagels will go up, will be shift to the right. Because of the supply shift to the right. And coming to the cream cheese is a complement to bagels, so they're a complement product. It's not an ingredient, it's a complement. So the fall in the equilibrium price bagels increase the demand for ice cream cheese. So imagine you love to eat this. You go to a restaurant before as a dessert, you'd like to eat it with the ice cream, okay, cheese, or as a just a snack to eat it. If the price falls, definitely you would consume more, but with more ice cream cheese. So demand for ice cream cheese will increase at the same time. So result in it is increasing both equilibrium price and the quantity ice cream. And fall in the price of flour, indeed, that increases both equilibrium price of ice cream cheese and the equilibrium quantity of bagels. Okay. So one thing you should put it in mind, okay, don't try to memorize the questions in here. The best thing is to understand that when it's a complement, when it's a substitute, you need to be able to make a differentiation between substitution and complement products. Because when there's a substitute, or if it's input product, if it's an ingredient, it's a totally different. So logically, you should be able to know what factors shift the supply and what factors shift the demand, and what happens if one of the price changes, and so on, how the price and shift them. So in order to get better idea where the price will fall down or equilibrium quantity will increase, you need to draw down. In order to draw it, you have to understand the logic behind the substitution and complement products. So suppose that instead of the equilibrium price, ice cream cheese has risen, but the equilibrium quantity of bagels has fallen. So what could be responsible for this pattern? The rise in the price of the flour or the rise of the price of the milk? So we should explain our answer by illustration as well. So in part A, actually what we did it, we found that the fall in the price of the flour, that leads to an increase in the price of the ice cream cheese and rise in the equilibrium quantity of bagels. If the price of the flour increases in here, that means input price for the bagels to produce the bagel will increase. So the opposite would be true in this case. So it would lead to a fall in the price of ice cream cheese and fall in the equilibrium quantity of bagels. So just what will happen? It will take the place of the opposite direction what happened in part A. So to the answer into the question, what happens to if the price of the milk increases? We would find that fall in the price of the milk cause decline in the price of ice cream cheese. So the rise in the price of the milk would cause the rise in the price of the ice cream. So because the bagels and the ice cream cheese are complements, the rise in the price of the ice cream cheese would reduce the demand for bagels because the cheese price will go up. So decline equilibrium, eventually the result shows that decline in the equilibrium quantity of the bagels. So increasing the price of the milk does cause both rise in the price of ice cream, cheese, and decline in the equilibrium quantity of bagels. And now we're coming to the question 11, which is a very good question. Where is it? Here. Okay, this is question actually very good and very easy to do it. So it seems like very big question, but it's very easy to do it. I will explain how to do it, but you will try yourself as well. And you will submit it as an activity, this question 11. This will help you to understand more clearly about the demand and supply. So suppose the price of basketball tickets at the college determined by market forces. So currently the demand and supply schedules are follow. So these are the schedules. So the price, quantity demanded, and quantity supply. So draw the demand supply curve. What is the unusual about the supply curve and why might be this true? So supply curve is vertical here. Okay. Why it's vertical, you should explain it. So when you will draw it, why it's very, yes, you can see the quantity supply doesn't change. And here we're talking about a basketball ticket at the college, okay? So there are seats, a certain stadium. If one certain stadium has got 8,000 seats, is it possible to increase this 8,000 seats, make it more than 8,000 seats? In short run, my question to you. If you have a stadium, okay, if you have a stadium, okay, one stadium. There is 8,000 seats, okay, in one stadium. As you can see, whatever price you put, the quantity supplied is 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Why so for the stadium? Can you increase the number of the seats in one day?
No.
No.
It's fixed. It's fixed. You already just constructed. Okay? That's why.
This is the capacity of the stadium.
Yes, very true. So this is vertical supply. So this is the question that asks you why you should explain it. So what is the equilibrium price of the quantity tickets? It's very easy to answer it. Now, part C, your college plans to increase total enrollment next year. Okay, by next year, they're planning to increase by 5,000. So additional student will have the following demand schedule. So additional demand schedule will be this. Additional amount. Be careful. Additional. So that means you need to do something with the old one. And the new one will be different. So additional will be this. So the additional student will have the following demand schedule is this one. So now add the old demand schedule and demand schedule for the new students to calculate the new demand schedule for the entire college. And what will be the new equilibrium price and the quantity? So this is the question you need to do. Please start doing it now. I'm gonna put the deadline, but before you start it, I'm gonna put the deadline today. You have to submit everything today. Like I will give you until 12 o'clock. Submit it. And before you start it, I would like to take the attendance and I'll let you start. If you have any questions, please ask me now. If not, let me take the attendance.
Professor, we have to answer 3 questions ABC or only C?
No, all of them. ABC, all of them.
Okay.
All of them. And anyway, we're gonna do it together, but I want you to do it on yourself in order to understand better the tutorial. Asılcan?
It's me here. I'm here.
Good. Camila?
I'm here.
Anel?
I'm here.
Shevo?
I'm here.
Araylın? Araylın? Rawan?
I'm here.
Saltanat?
I'm here.
Alişer? Alişer Arman? Sonkayer,
Yes, I'm
Azaki. Okay. Oh, we had 41 students, now 43 became, huh? Very good. At the end of the class. So that means I have to take twice attendance, at the beginning, at the end. That will work out everybody to come. Iskander,
I'm here.
Alisher,
I'm here.
Yulia. Yulia here. Alan,
I'm here.
Muhammad Arshia,
I am here.
Arnay,
I'm here.
Arat,
Here.
Ayslu,
I'm here.
Şolpan.
I'm here.
Okay. Amina,
I'm here.
Ardager,
Here.
Christina,
Here.
Alina,
I'm here.
Dana,
Here.
Maksat,
I'm here.
Yılanna,
I'm here.
Arujan,
I'm here.
Nuray,
Yes, I'm here.
Camila,
I'm here.
İlyas,
Yes.
Here.
Begzat,
I'm here.
Janaim,
I'm here.
Aset,
I'm here.
Rustam,
I'm here.
Ali, Aliyar.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay, got you. Farhat,
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Janna,
I'm here.
Diana,
Here.
Arujan, Tajiva,
I'm here.
Saltanat,
I'm here.
Camila.
I'm here.
Okay, I see the Camila now. Şengüz, Malika.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay. Ayaulum,
I'm here.
Daniela. Daniela here. Malika,
I'm here.
Janserik,
I'm here.
Araylin. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your coming and participation. You can start doing it. I will create the link of activity 4. You can submit before 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Best of luck
Okay,
and have a
thank
nice
you.
weekend.
Goodbye.
And
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
And please feel free, if you have any question in the weekend times, write me email, WhatsApp, you're all welcome.
Okay,
All right.
Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, take care, guys. Be
Thank
healthy.
you. Bye.